Knowing many people will only watch 30 seconds of this, these are the people that I am going to vote for. Mayor Mark Sager, Council Christine Cassidy, Klaus Jensen, Peter Lambert, Scott Snyder, Sharon Thompson, and Linda Watt. I'm sorry that I've been virtually silent during this election, and with less than 2 weeks to go, I have had to speak out. These are my personal views and not to be taken as anything from ADRA, as I was on the board of that, or West Vancouver community stakeholders that I was a co-founder of. These are my personal opinion and should be taken just as that. Before giving my recommendations, please remember that once elected, your municipal councillors are near enough dictators for their 4-year term, so don't just tick some boxes on the ballot sheet like I did in the last election. I voted for and swung enough votes for Mayor Booth to defeat Mark Sager, a mistake I won't make twice. Do your research and pick candidates that you truly believe have the best interests of our community. Elect people who will watch how your taxes are spent, who will listen to your concern, and most importantly for us, they will represent you and West Vancouver. Yes, we are part of Metro, but we are also West Vancouver, and just a little different. This is a very serious decision that could well change the past of the district forever. Believe me how hard it is to stop a politician who has a goal in mind, as I spent over 2,000 hours fighting our mayor and some of the council members over the beeline. Please make your decision who you vote for wisely. For mayor, I'll be voting for Mark Sager. I will explain the reason why as I will for certain council members after who I say I'll be voting for. For council, I'm voting for Peter Lambert, Klaus Jensen, Christine Cassidy, Sharon Thompson, Scott Snyder, and Linda Watt. This is the only chance we have to make a change in the political bearings for the better part of 3 years before federal or provincial elections. We are going into a period of high inflation and global turmoil. The only thing that you can do to make any changes in our lives is to go out and vote on October the 15th. Why Mark Sager for mayor? He did a great job when he was mayor before, and I believe that he will do an even better job this time. He is a businessman who has met payroll for many years, so understands what expenses are. He was the person that started the Harmony Arts Festival and brought about many good things when he was the mayor. He was on the Metro board and will sit on the Mayor's Council for TransLink, not send a council member as Mayor Booth did. Mayor Booth did the beeline fight is reason enough not to consider voting for her, but if we need more, then here goes. She was unable to run a council meeting effectively, with some meetings going well past midnight. They were even worse when her goon Craig Cameron was not there and 2 meetings just fell apart. Watch almost any of the council videos. I shall be sharing some of the many gaffes over the next 2 weeks, but she was terrible. Words from a prominent person in our community about Mayor Booth was that they had never seen a politician work so hard against their constituents. That was over the beeline fiasco. Also add her complete disregard for the residents with the near constant push for the $38 million plus arts, culture, hotel, or whatever else she can dream up for Ambleside Park. As a person who has followed the council meetings, Marcus Wong is not strong enough to be mayor, and I will put out videos of council meetings to prove that he should not be our mayor before the election. His campaign is very slick, but rather embellished, and certainly not what I have seen at the council meetings over the past 4 years. Dakota's is not even in the ballpark, so I wouldn't bother going any further. Please vote for Mark Sager. Peter Lambert, who I agree to disagree with quite often, is a good voice on council. But we often don't agree. He is a person that should be on the council with his wisdom and thoughtfulness. Klaus Jensen comes from outside, but is exactly who we need for council. He is a very successful business person and will look after the district's finances in a way they have never been examined before. He is doing this for you and is concerned about the direction of our community. There is certainly no personal gains, as he will be donating his remuneration to charity. Christine Cassidy needs no introduction. She was a council member before and is often the smartest person in the room. Don't take my word for it. Call her up and talk to her. She knows the issues and she will make a difference. Sharon Thompson I have at times not agreed with as well, but became better and better over the term as councillor. She is strong-willed and smart and does listen to the residents. She has proven to be a leader in the dysfunctional council that Mayor Booth led. Scott Snyder is a mediator by trade and will be a strong person with the council with many issues coming out. I have met with him personally and I know that he will be a huge asset for council. Linda Watt was a huge part of the Western Residents Association and has done a great job for the western part of the community and can bring advocacy to the council table. These recommendations for council will represent West Vancouver, being from Horseshoe Bay, Glen Eagles, Cypress Park, Ambleside, and the British properties. The remaining council list is long after that, so I will start with Mayor Booth's progressive slate: Amin Alvari, Alexis, Ken, and David. So if you want more of the same from what Mayor Booth and what happened the past 4 years, then I guess vote for them. Why Nora Gambioli was left off her dream team, I have no idea. But please look at Nora's voting record and the council meetings, and you will see why I will not be voting for her. If you paid attention to council meetings, Elaine McCarg has been there to speak in favor of most of the issues Mayor Booth has tried to push through, so I will paint her into the progressive box too. This is a time for restraint, common sense, and practicality. No art centres, no e-bike subsidies, but a few years of taking stock and fixing our infrastructure, watching costs in a period of great uncertainty. Bill Sopovich I like very much, but he has, I believe, had 20 years on council, and it's time to move on. Tyler Blair I also like and was a big help with Beeline, but he does not live here, and we don't want to split the vote. Keen Lau, Eileen, and Rima I have not had the opportunity to get to know well enough to give a recommendation one way or the other, but do your research if you choose to vote for them. There will be more information to follow, and regardless of what I have recommended, please just get out and vote. This is the only opportunity you have to change anything at all in our lives for the better part of 3 years. If you made it this far, then I thank you, and I will explain why I'm not running, as I've had a large number of people feel let down. The number one reason is that my father, who I love dearly, was diagnosed with dementia. There will be just no way that I can commit to serving on council for 4 years when I will need to help him through this. I've also had a tough time with business, with one of my businesses being very badly affected due to the pandemic and the travel restrictions that came along with it. Unlike Mayor Booth's former thug, Craig Cameron, who is, thank God, not running for council, I would like to quote that he felt that many of our residents were toxic soup. Well, for me, it would have been a privilege to have represented the residents of West Vancouver. Until COVID, I'd enjoyed meeting many of you and being involved in municipal politics, even if it was from outside of council chambers. I do hope that in 4 years' time, I will have the opportunity to represent you and do the best I can for our community. We have less than 2 weeks until Election Day. Please make your vote count. Mayor Booth won by just a few votes. There's voting at the West Van Municipal Hall at 750 17th Street on October 4th, 6th, 8th, and 10th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And of course, Election Day, October the 15th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Please get out and vote. This is the last chance you've got until our next provincial or federal election to make any change. Thank you ever so much.